Do you see something new? Keep looking. Yes, you have found it. I am finally extending the high speed line to the southwest. This first segment will be from Pittsburgh to Columbus. This is all part of a bigger scheme to connect the Northeast with the Midwest and the Southwest through the northern branch and the southern branch. This is the first stretch of the southern branch, which will eventually connect all the way to Texas. So, this is the first leg from Pittsburgh to Columbus. So, this line is a high speed line at speeds between 200 kilometers per hour and 300 kilometers per hour. All grade crossings will be removed and it's mostly on an existing double track line, except there are a couple tunnels and a couple new alignments, especially in eastern Ohio. But besides that, this should be a pretty inexpensive alternative to many other proposals that are being built, and I think this will be a very successful high speed line if it is built. So the line will start at Pittsburgh Central, go on the same alignment right next to the Ohio River that my existing other high speed line will go. This will be at 300 kilometers per hour, all the way up to Rochester. Now, just south of Rochester, the new line will deviate from the existing one, continue along the northern bank of the Ohio River. This is all existing dual track line and the speed will be at 300 kilometers per hour. So not much curve straightening is required. It'll enter Ohio around 20 miles west of that junction, continuing into a tunnel under East Liverpool. I didn't want to make it go the long way around as the speed would have to decrease to 150 kilometers per hour. And when you look at the bigger scale of things, it would not work considering the line is relatively smooth as it is on both sides. I didn't want a train to slow down just for one turn and speed up to full speed again. It will continue along the bank of the Ohio River at the full speed of 300 kilometers per hour or 187.5 miles per hour. Now here a little curve straightening may be required but nothing too drastic. The main upgrades will be electrifying the rails and possibly eliminating any grade crossings which are prevalent along this route. So it continues along the Ohio River. Until just north of Steubenville. Now you may be wondering something before we go on. There's another line that already exists going more directly. Why didn't I just do that? Well, in reality, this is only 6 miles longer than that. Plus, this line is much older, it is single track, and more importantly, there are a lot of more curves and gradients on this line. Basically, the slope of the tracks will be much higher than going across and along the river here. Not to mention that the line going from Pittsburgh to here would involve a lot of annoying turns, just slowing the journey down. So, believe it or not, this would be nearly twice as fast as a route going down here. Even though this is not as direct, it flows right across the river, and since the beginning, transportation flows across rivers, and that's how it is with trains too. No, just kidding. The real reason is that the line's already pretty straight. Now, this is one of the most expensive parts of the project. A 3-mile long tunnel just north of Steubenville. It will go under Route 22 and Route 7 along with many other mountains. This is all in the Riverside Ridge. It will tunnel underneath before emerging outside here, just north of Wintersville. This is all new segment, by the way. This is one of few new segments of the line. It will go underground again, just east of Route 22 until it meets the other line I was talking about. Now, this line will follow the other line, which is a dual track line, pretty much all the way to Columbus. Speed will be 250 kilometers per hour. This has some pretty major curve straightening and even curve cutting that needs to be done, but mostly a speed of 250 kilometers per hour will work here. Not too much curve straightening will be required. I think it's a best balance between cost and ridership. Now here I may have to decrease it to 200 kilometers per hour. This part here is fast. I'm not fast. It's smooth enough for high speed, but to make it go 250 or 300, I would have to build tunnels and viaducts through these mountains and hills here. And I didn't want to do that, considering that I already built 2 tunnels in the line. Line will continue. Now for example, right here, these, any curve, any grade crossings will have to be replaced by a viaduct. So this may increase the cost of the line. But considering that the rest of the line is on existing track, it shouldn't affect it too much. Now yeah, this curve here may be 200. If there's any steeper curve, 200, besides that 250. However, after this curve, 300 kilometers per hour. I was debating between 300 and 350, but believe it or not, the difference between 300 and 350 is a lot in curves. This still is slightly curved, plus the fact that the track won't need to be upgraded that much compared to 350 kilometers per hour. Just first to support some high speeds, I think 300 is the best balance here. And this is all on existing track. Nothing too special here, just like all my other lines, tilting electric trains at the full speed. Now here I built a 1 mile long tunnel just east of Coshocton, I think that's how it's pronounced. And that's just because it's a tunnel connecting 2 very fast portions of the line. I didn't want the line to slow down and waste 10 to 20 minutes of people's times by going through a slow curve near a town. So it'll exit the tunnel, go on the east of Coshocton before meeting up with the main line. Now this was very interesting. I could have made the line go like this, but the problem was I would have to demolish some property here in order to do that. I could have made it go here, however, curve straightening would make it to either go through the river or through this factory here. So what I did, I made an intermediate route consisting of 3 viaducts over this river, and that will connect it to the rest of the line. Speed will be maintained at 300 kilometers per hour. It will continue. Nothing too special here. For example, near Hanover, I'll need some curve cutting as the line gets really harsh. But very few properties will have to be dismantled. Now, just east of our first regional stop, we will have another tunnel which will only be served by the express trains. The regional trains, which will stop at Newark, will obviously take the existing route here. Express trains will take a tunnel underneath the east side of Newark. And the regional stop, now, if I've not explained it to you in my other videos that well, most of my high-speed lines have ultra high speed and regional high speed. Ultra high speed is basically big city to big city. Regional high speed is along the high speed lines, but it serves more small municipal areas as well, thus allowing more people access to our interconnected transportation network. So the line will continue west at the full speed of 300 kilometers per hour all the way until it enters the suburbs of Columbus. Now the first station in Columbus is actually not Columbus Central, it's Columbus Airport. Columbus Airport is the biggest airport in central Ohio, and I think the second biggest after Cleveland in all of Ohio. In other words, a lot of people use it. So many people from the outskirts areas will be flocking to this airport to catch their flight to wherever else in the country their needs may go. Not to mention, this can also serve as a nice high-speed rail link for business travelers from the airport to downtown, which is where the final stop is. The line will continue along Route 670, and it'll have to slow down as it enters Columbus Central Station. That's about it. Now, why is this line important? Okay, believe it or not, Columbus does not have any rail passenger rail transportation of any kind. It's the biggest metropolitan area in the USA without any passenger rail service. So adding this line will not only add passenger rail service but high-speed rail service connecting Newark and Columbus, basically the Columbus metropolitan area, to New York City, and get this, 4 hours. In fact, the link from Pittsburgh to Columbus will only take 1 hour and 10 minutes on the ultra high speed route. So that's something to consider. 1 hour 10 minutes from Pittsburgh to Columbus. You can practically commute between the two cities. And Columbus to New York, 4 hours. You don't have to take a plane, which may anyways take 5 or 6 hours when you factor in security and baggage handling, all of that. Plus driving to the airport too. This is center city to center city. Now you can also see my scheme taking into place, making one route through the mountains that will be very expensive, connecting to branches in the west and the east. I wanted to make it go all branch into one route through central Pennsylvania, thus saving the most amount of money and serving all of the Midwest, Southwest, and Northeast. That's about it. Thank you for watching.